Hello, my name is Rosella. I'm at Organica Farm, and today I'm going to be talking with Juan, who is the farm manager at Organica Farm, and we're going to be showing some details about how to grow Rosella, this crop behind me, how to grow it, how to harvest it, how to process it, and how to use it. It's the 28th of March today, and we're now entering the beginning of the harvest season for Rosella. This is a crop that starts producing as the days get shorter. So as we go into March, and then it'll carry on until about July. So we get one, possibly two harvests a year, but it's a very long harvest. So I'm going to hand over to Juan, who's going to explain what we've been doing up till now.
Hello, good morning. My name is Juan and I'm site manager of Organica Farm. Today I'm going to show you how we grow the Rosella and how we harvest and how we process the Rosella. We got these seeds from Nana Bakabon. This is the special variety of Rosella, have a more purple color, and we grow these on September and transplanting on November, October, and grow all through the wet season, and now starting to, it's ready to get harvest.
The bushes in the background, these have been growing for about 5-6 months, and it's now coming into their fruiting season. They have quite a distinctive fruiting season because they need the days to get shorter. So as we come into March and the days sort of fall below 12 hours, they start to fruit, and they'll continue fruiting all the way until about July, August, depending on how much moisture they have. Here they have plenty of moisture. They'll basically flower themselves to death. If they're able to make it through till the following September, they'll regrow again. But we tend to find that they're more productive if you start them from seed every year. So I'm going to hand over to Juan now, and he's going to tell you about how we got to this stage.
First thing first, we create the bedding. With organic fertilizer like chicken manure, paddy charcoal, and then we move the Rosella from the nursery with 1.5 meters apart. But next time we will trying to move them 2 meters apart, so we get easier to harvest. In Organica Farm, we use tumpang sari system, which is mean intercropping system. So when these Rosella are still small, we plant lettuce in between them, and when the Rosella are getting bigger, so we stop.
So Rosella is what we call a short day crop. That means when the days are longer during the summer, the Rosella grows all its leaves, it doesn't produce any fruits. And then as the days get shorter and we come to the equinox in March, then the plant will start fruiting. And so there's only really one main crop for Rosella per year, and so you need to plant in about September. But there's a little bit of a cheat. So if you were to plant Rosella in, let's say, June, what would happen is the Rosella won't grow very tall. It will certainly not grow like this. It'll just grow maybe like 1/2 meter tall, if that, and it'll start flowering almost immediately. So what you could do is you could actually have 2 crops per year, but you have a main crop where you have very large bushes like this that are very productive, and then you have a minor crop where you'd kind of have to grow them, more closely spaced like these chili bushes. And you would get quite a low yield per bush, but you plant them more densely. I have a bit of a history with Rosella. When I was in Australia, I used to work with the disability services, and they used to make all different sorts of jams and chutneys and baked goods. And we used to grow Rosellas out in the gardens, and we used to process them into a Rosella jam, which is, Rosella is originally from Africa, but it's sort of spread across the world, and it's very popular like throughout Southeast Asia and India and Africa. And the Caribbean as well, and in Australia as well. It was like the early settlers used to use it because the thing about Rosella is that it's one of the few things that you can grow in the tropics that really tastes like a cranberry or a raspberry. So if you're craving that kind of taste, either in a tea or a jam, Rosella, that's the best crop. It's very hardy, not many pests attack it, it's very productive. Like just the other week we harvested just along, 2 strips here, 10 kilos we harvested from two of these strips. So the many things you can use Rosella for. It makes an excellent tea. One will show you later on about how to dry the Rosella. It's best you dry the Rosella first before you make tea, because then more of the color will come out. But if you want to use it fresh, it's really good for making jams. So you just cook it down with sugar. You can also make Rosella wine. So the Rosella has the similar fruit acids that grapes have. So when you mix Rosella with other fruits, it helps. It's like well, often when you're making fruit wines, you have to buy the citric acid, the malic acid, the tartaric acid in order to balance the wine. Rosella has it all in the correct proportions inside already. So in Nigeria, they make a papaya and Rosella wine. I made a Rosella and strawberry wine last year. Pretty good. The other thing you can do is you can cook it down into a syrup or a cordial. Basically anything you might want to use, like a raspberry syrup or a cranberry or that kind of a berry flavor in. So Rosella is a member of the hibiscus family, and there's quite a few crops that are related. I'm going to show you a couple. There's obviously this Rosella, and there's a few different types of Rosella. And then you can see here one of its cousins, okra. So it's also from the mallow family. And you can see from this flower here, see all the hibiscus flowers have that sort of similar flower. Have a look at her. See? So yeah, they're quite nice things to have in the garden.
How to harvest the Rosella, and you see, this is the new flower of the Rosella. It's getting bigger, and then starting to flowering, and the flowers falls off like this, and the fruit, you see, it's getting bigger now, and this one's ready to harvest. This is the way that you harvest. Just twist it and boom, you have it. I'll show you how we process the Rosella. You see, this is the fruit. So we only use this flesh. You see the seed spot inside. We don't use it. So we take the flesh like this. And this flesh can make jam, but for tea, we better use the dry one for tea. So gonna be more color. A dry rack that we make from seed net. So this is the Rosella that we harvest last week. So we flip them like twice a day. So we check which one is not good, like this one's getting gray. See, just throw it away. Get your Rosella, dry Rosella from Organica. Just put them in the fridge, so keep the Rosella fresh and the vitamin will stay there, because this dry Rosella high of vitamin C. And don't put them in the open place, because the humidity will come and gonna be not last for so long.
It's a lucky coincidence of nature that the time when Rosella is ready to harvest is just the time of the year when the cooler weather comes and people start to think about colds and flus in the cold season. So this is a really good plant to help build up your immunity. If you think about the way people use like lemons and limes to get their vitamin C, this also contains the same thing. Plus it contains a lot of anthocyanins, which is the healthy pigment that's in things like beetroot and dragon fruit, and it's so tasty. So this is a really good combination if you mix it with things like lemongrass or butterfly pea or any of the other herbal teas. It's a really good mixer. Also you can combine it with sugar if you want to preserve it. You just cook it down in its fresh state and mix it with sugar and make a jam, or you can make syrups, you make cordials. I really think the potential of this crop has not really been realized. Even though it sort of does grow in Lombok, most people don't really know how to use it. The first time I came across it in East Lombok, people were only using the seeds, which was a use I'd never come across before. They roast the seeds and they make like a coffee substitute, but they weren't using this. And they also weren't using the leaves, which is something they use a lot in Singapore. When you go to Little India in Singapore, you see bunches of the Rosella leaves for sale. It's like a tasty, sour spinach. It's very nice. So I think that there's a lot of uses for Rosella that haven't been explored yet, but it's such an easy crop to grow. So thank you very much. If you enjoyed that, please like or subscribe and tell us in the comments box what kind of things you'd like to know about. If you saw anything else in the background that we can tell you. Yeah, we're keen to make some more videos because we really enjoy this. So yeah, made up some Rosella and ginger tea, delicious. Hope you get out there and find some Rosella, it's very delicious and very healthy for you, especially this time.